When you talk about the transition of going from the marketing world, the whole corporate landscape, going back to school, can you sort of walk us through that decision and if it was a worrisome decision to make it all, kind of, leaving a corporate 9 to 5 environment and then going back into school? Because I know a lot of people at different points in their lives sort of have that urge to do so, and to kind of change what they're doing, to change the course that they're on, to hopefully go on a course that they're more passionate about or whatever it may be. So I'd love to hear your perspective on that.
Sure, absolutely. It is scary, but I think at some point in your life, you have this nudge and this gut feeling that you have to follow. And I do think there's a balance. You have to listen to your heart and mind and find that center point. You hear a lot about it through different meditative methods and yoga, if you're into any of that, but I hear it a lot, making that balanced decision because you have to make money. In this world, you need money to survive. So,
Mm
not to disappoint you or anybody, but I did go
hmm.
back to corporate. However, what I found was when I went back to school and kind of decided I'm going to do this full time, I started teaching Zumba. I started taking classes, really pursuing auditioning for teams in Chicago. Um, I just found I was struggling with not being able to make ends meet. I had my student loans, but it wasn't just that. I noticed my lifestyle was different. I barely saw my friends and family. I'm very family oriented. I noticed I was at the gym training early mornings and then after work because most of the time building a clientele during the day is challenging because most people are at work.
Mm
So you
hmm.
you kind of have to be a hustler, right? You're teaching a class here, you're training somebody here, and I didn't love that lifestyle. It just was something that was so different for me, and I wasn't making the money I wanted. So I actually decided, let me just give a 9 to 5 a chance. I'll take a contract job on and kind of go from there. And when I did that, I found that I worked so hard to make it work. Like, because I knew I didn't want to let go of my dance, but I wanted a consistent paycheck because I needed to make that loan payment, right? I didn't want my credit getting
Mm
messed
hmm.
up. So I found that I started having more time to dance and focus on my own craft once I went back to the corporate world. And I know it sounds weird, but it actually worked for me. So I started working and my most of the teams I was on were with adults that were also doing the same thing. So we all understood each other. We would get together after work. We would have our rehearsals after work. And although, you have to keep your energy up to be able to do that. And we weren't working remotely. So I would go in and then go to the city, to go to my class because I was still in the burbs at that time.
Right.
So I was driving a lot, but I made it work and I was so happy. I performed a lot and I continued my corporate career after that for a while. And it was great. So I have gone back and forth. I've left corporate after that and gone back. So it's kind of just like what works for you during that time. And you have to figure out what you need to do to make ends meet. You want to pay your rent, you want to support your family. But I think anything's possible. I truly believe you could do it all. I don't believe in limiting yourself. It's just at different periods in your life, you have to focus on what are you going to focus on right now.